Oh, here he comes.
I hope you're
Thank
keeping
God for
people
that.
company. I hope you're
No,
being nice to people.
I didn't really say anything because I just felt incredibly awkward about the whole thing. But
You've just been silent. They've been
I
sitting
do,
there
well,
looking at.
I composed my tweet. I tell you what I did say though. I said that it's weird that we've been chatting for 15 minutes. We go live and then you go and get your drink.
Well, I was busy fixing the camera and stuff.
I feel like you were testing me.
No, no,
And
I really didn't need to go to get a
like
drink. I
let's see
always
what
do
James
this.
says.
I always do this. Right, you ready to go? Let's do
Mm.
it. All right.
Oh, okay, yeah. Have we started?
You started. You don't have the stream up. I've literally pressed the button to go, and then you're like, "Oh, okay," talking over it.
Oh, sorry, man.
What is happening, guys? Welcome to another stream. I'm calling it the Thursday before because it's the Monday after the Thursday before. It works the best. And I brought a friend along. It's Tongue and Loftus.
Yeah.
Or
Hello.
James, or
There we
whatever
go.
you want to call him, whatever he
Yeah.
wants to be called.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe James is best. You know, if too many people call me Tongue in Loftus, then people are going to start asking questions about what I do in my spare time. So
What do you do in your spare time?
I put my tongue in young football players. Uh, that's
Specifically,
my big
just
hobbies.
just one, not players. Put in a
Mm,
player.
well, I'm thinking of branching out a little bit after Christmas. It's part of
You
my New
change
Year's
your name.
resolution is to
Literally
look for,
changing your at.
yeah, looking for other double-barreled youngsters like Alexander Arnold, um, Reece Nelson.
This
You
stream has started
know.
off in a way which I could never have imagined. Right, thank you very much everyone for coming. This is just a kind of more chilled out version of the Monday after, where we've got a little bit more information, we've got a little bit of more ideas. We've listened to everyone else's pods, and we steal their ideas, questions, and results.
Yeah.
And also means that there's been a little bit of pressers as well, that which we can lean on. Although no real like good ones. All the good ones are waiting. We've also had a few games in between, like cup games and stuff, so we can chat a little bit more freely without being like, oh, but what if, or wait if, or blah blah blah. I brought James along because I thought it'd be a laugh. We don't usually get to talk, just me and you. Usually you're hosting, and I'm trying to be a dick just to annoy you, and I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like we
the other
don't.
way around now.
Yeah, we don't. I don't know much about like your team or your plans or whatever, because you're always
Mm.
asking me and Mark and Holly, so it's nice. I want to just say quickly thanks everyone for joining us in the stream. It's Raw as always. Liam, how's it going, man? I'm not a wizard, but I'll be your wizard. Oblivious Gaming, how's it going, my man? We've got a new follower. I don't know how to say his name. And
Sure, fine.
Anuragb, yeah. So just spell it if you can. New viewer. A-
AJB.
Anuragb.
Yeah, he hasn't made that easy for you, to be
No.
fair.
Gold's go here. Oh my goodness. It's been a while, my man. So yeah. So what are we talking about today, James?
I don't know, really. Well, it's up to you. You know, you're the host, so I'm gonna.
I actually purposely didn't tell you because I wanted you. I wanted to throw that. I wanted to say, "What are we talking about?" Just see what you do.
Hopefully, there are things that I want to talk about because there are things that we're recording on a Thursday night. I still don't know what I'm going to do this game week, really, as far as my captain goes and my transfers. So I'm really hoping that by the end of this stream, I will have a better
You'll
idea.
figure it out. Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
we'll
hopefully.
just do a massive rate my team, but instead of just doing a little tiny section like in the podcast, we'll do like this whole stream is just designed to figure out
Can you
who
imagine?
you're
People would
captaining.
be so angry, wouldn't they, if it was just it's
What
just
do you
my team is up and that's it.
what do you think I do on Mondays? I just like
Yeah.
you think that I don't say anything about my team because I know I'm just gonna ask the 20 people in my stream like an hour after we record.
Yeah.
So I just
That
say
must
what
be
I'm
really
thinking. Yeah, it's good. It's like a collective. It's like a mind hive. It's amazing.
yeah. Which was someone tried that, didn't they, last season? I
Hmm.
remember it was on Reddit.
Yeah, like you
They
could
had
vote who
five.
you're transferring in and stuff.
Yeah.
How did that do in the end? Do we know?
I don't know how it. Maybe someone in the stream will. I don't know how it got on. I don't know whether the guy who was running it kind of gave up eventually because it was a lot of effort he was putting in each week,
Yeah.
especially when you get to Christmas and it's like every 2 days needing to do another poll. Like I think
Yeah.
it was quite hard work for him, but yeah, I think it was a cool concept.
Do you remember when they did that on Twitch with Pokemon? and everyone could like say
Quick
left down, right
plays
up,
Pokemon.
quick plays, or what? Aye, that's what it was. And they beat the
Yeah.
game, and it took them ages. I was in the stream when they beat the game. I was watching the finale,
Wow.
and they got Zapdos and everything, and they were just using Thunder constantly. It was amazing. Like for any Pokemon fans, it was amazing.
That's something to tell your grandkids.
I mean,
I was in the stream.
I've got a screenshot of it actually, which is great.
You sad bastard.
No, mate, I just couldn't help it. It was just that it was a momentous occasion. Anyway, we should probably talk about FPL. We're losing viewers by the second. I specifically wanted to do the stream last time. We did a Thursday chill. I did it with FPL and Tips. Lovely guy. Met him on Friday, and he was amazing. Last time we just talked about strikers because Abraham was injured. So this time, like the really difficult question that everyone's asking is captains. Now I know a few people. Ben Brown, 88, Captain Rashford. Colm says Rashford as well. But like if you don't have Rashford, because Rashford seems like he has the best fixtures. I've got the fixtures up in front of us, and they're playing Watford, who are bottom. So that's a fairly easy like answer. But what if you don't have Rashford? What if you don't have Son? What if you have like the worst, like you've doubled up in Mane and Salah
What
or
if you've
whatever?
just got a really shit team?
Yeah. Shall we look at your team? Speaking of, hold
Yeah,
on.
let's have a. Speaking of shit teams, yeah, let's definitely have a look at mine. I do think I've actually got Rashford. I'm not going to be captaining him. I don't think. I have to
really?
say though, because I did the bookies odds article today, and was really surprised to see that Rashford has been given the second highest likelihood of any player in the Premier League this weekend to score a goal. Aguero is first, and of course Aguero. No one owns Aguero, and they're probably not going to captain him, even if they do, because of course he's so unreliable at the moment. But so Rashford effectively is the highest, the most likely player who's definitely playing this weekend to score as far as the bookies go, which is quite a big statement as when we're looking at our captains. The
Sorry,
reason why
shut up a second. Papa Bello 69. Thank you for following, buddy. I shut James up for you, man. Thank you very much. Sorry, James. Continue.
Papa Bello 69.
Yeah, that's such a good name. Like if it was
Yeah.
just like Charles, I probably wouldn't have told you to shut up.
No. You've got to, yeah. No,
good.
that's totally, yeah. No, please feel free at any point. Feel free to tell me.
This is why you should have the stream up on your laptop while we do this. You don't have to have Skype up because all you're doing is looking at yourself.
Yeah, I
you
do.
could have the stream up, and then that way.
Yeah, but I worried that. Remember last time when my mic went mad, and I think it was because I had the stream up and it caused.
Oh, just mute it. Just mute it.
Mute the stream.
Yeah, it's like when you phone into a radio show and they say, "Can you please mute the radio?"
That's so obvious, isn't it?
Is that what happened? I thought your Skype blew up in your face.
Hang on a minute. Let me just.
Flame Grilled Bob, thank you. I was waiting till you started again. Flame Grilled Bob, thank you very much for the follow, man. Another great name. 2 followers in 2 seconds.
Really strong. No 69 on the end of that though, which is disappointing. No, I would have liked
to. It just means he's over the age of 14. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Or under the age of what would 69 be? I don't know, 58 or whatever. No, it would be exactly 60. You'd be 60 years old, right? There you go. Maths.
Yeah.
If you were born in 69.
Yeah,
right, so Rashford, what you were saying was that he was second highest to score.
Yeah, so second highest, and I own him, and yeah, he has crossed my mind. I do think he should be in the conversation. The reason I don't like him as a captain is because he's got an away fixture, which I never really like as far as captains go. Also, because Watford, of course, they've now got a new manager. They kept a clean sheet at home at their last home fixture, which, albeit it was Crystal Palace, but still. I just feel like I've muted the stream now, by the way, but I can't. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I can tell that you're watching the stream because your internet literally can't handle it.
Oh, really? Right, I'm going to close it. I'm going to close it.
That was a good try. See, these are the things these are the little bumps.
We tried it, didn't we?
Yeah, that was good.
So anyway, away fixture. Watford, new manager. They have been keeping some clean sheets. They don't have a terrible defensive record at home either. Despite the fact that they're obviously a bit rubbish. So I just kind of feel like that could be a bit of a banana skin for Man United. And I would rather look at players who are playing at home this week. So the likes of Spurs assets, Man City assets, they're the ones that are really on my radar, personally.
There has been a few people that have been saying that, like, like for example, FPL General on his podcast saying, I wish that we played, top six sides every single week, because they do look shit hot, Rashford, James, and Martial, when they're playing it on the counter. But I feel like Watford, like you said, are gonna be causing a bit of an issue, because they're not going to like, they're not gonna do well, and they're gonna be sitting parking doing a classic bus maneuver.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, they would love a point against Man United. I think in the current state of things at that football club. So I think
Yeah.
they would definitely play for the point. And yeah, it is. We do find this, and it's the same for lots of players. I would maybe include the likes of Son in that category of players who tends to excel when
Yeah.
they're playing in open, expansive attacking games, as opposed to these kind of attacking a block games. So yeah, like I feel like maybe in that regard, the Spurs asset might be more tempting, because we know there's anything that we've learned about Chelsea so far, it's that they're not shy about attacking, especially away from home. They've scored, I think, more goals than any other team away from home. So
Oh,
they
really?
are. They're up there. I'm
Shall we
actually
bring
gonna.
it? Shall we
I
bring
should
it
fact
up?
check that. I should fact check that, because didn't Leicester beat Southampton 9-0 away from home?
Yeah, but
So
that was mental.
it was, but
Daffs,
it's
thank you very much for this Daffs. He always comes in and he hosts me from his own channel, so you can host other people and blah blah blah. But it's always just him in his own channel. So he hosts me for one, and it's him hosting me. It's lovely. I love it
oh
every single week.
nice.
And I would get
Oh.
annoyed. Like, you could tell how that would be. It's cheating just to get his name up on the thing. But I love that he does it every single week. It's amazing. Daffs, thank you so much for joining us yet again. Never change, buddy. Okay, so up on the screen right now, we're going into stat view.
There we go.
That's name pending. Like, I don't actually know what to call this. I just press number 2 and it goes into full screen. Like, I don't know what to call it. So what were you saying there? Who's got the most away goals or whatever?
So actually, it is Man City. They've got 25, Leicester on 21, but obviously significantly bolstered by that freak result. And
Well,
then
didn't Man
Chelsea,
City have a weird game where they scored 7-0 or 8-0 and Sterling
did.
wasn't
That was
on
at
it?
home, though. That
Oh,
was at
was
home
it?
against
Okay.
Watford. Yeah, against Watford. Leicester 21, and then Chelsea just behind Leicester on 20. 4 goals more than the likes of Liverpool. 7 goals more than Tottenham away from home. So they're doing very, very well. They've also
Yeah.
played one less than Man City as well. So you factor that in too. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're up there for teams scoring away from home. I think they're going to go to Spurs' stadium with a mentality of, Mourinho's hasn't managed to tighten up that Spurs defence like maybe we thought he might. And so there's potential for goals on both ends of the pitch there, I reckon.
And that's interesting, because you've got balls in both those parks, right? You've got
I've got balls
Abraham,
all over
and
the
you've
place.
got you've got your testicles in Abraham.
Yeah.
You've got your tongue in Loftus Cheek, and
Yeah.
you've got your ass in Aurier, right?
Yeah, it's like a freakish game of Twister. I have just coagulated across a whole mix of players. No, I do. I've got Aurier, Dele Alli. I probably will have Son by the time we get to Saturday.
Right.
And of course, I've also got Abraham and Mount too. Pending, I may get rid of Mount this weekend, but he's looked good though, hasn't he, Mason Mount? And we talked about this on the pods, which came out yesterday. That Mason Mount of the Chelsea attackers looks the best. He's outshone Pulisic in recent matches as far as the eye test goes. Abraham hasn't been his normal self, so it feels a little strange getting rid of Mount.
You know what I was thinking about with Pulisic though, when I was coming home, because I've got Pulisic in my team, and he's been obviously very annoyed. Andy, Let's Talk FPL, friend of the show. Hope you're good. He was in hospital, and then he got out of hospital. He like, I don't know if everyone knows this. Hold on, I'll go into my camera for this. So he was on the Scoutcast, and then he just goes, so I'm gonna throw it back to you, Joe, and I'm actually gonna bow out. And Joe was like, oh, okay, no worries, that's fine. And then he went on with the show, pure professional. But Joe ended up fainting in his bathroom because he had like a stomach bug or whatever, like that was really bad. Ended up in hospital. And then the second he got back, he was editing that little picture for me for that 12 Days of Christmas thing. Like, just like nothing happened. What a trooper. So,
wow.
So thank you very much, Joe, for that. Or Andy, sorry. That was really, really nice of you. Anyway, what I was going to say was Andy's taken Pulisic out. for a minus
Yeah.
8 with a bunch of other people. He's actually taken all
Wow.
his Chelsea players out, and the reason why he did that was because he's just had enough, which is fair enough, right? But what I was
Yeah.
thinking was, where does Pulisic play? On the left, right? He plays left, and he comes
Yeah.
in. And he's an
Yeah.
inside forward. And where does Aurier play?
He plays on the right.
And he is an attacking fullback.
I see what you're saying.
So
Yes,
where's
Aurier
he?
is very neglectful of his defensive
Yeah,
duties.
Aurier's shit at defense is what you meant to say. Like he doesn't defend. So what I was thinking, like, it was pausing me because I'm all up for doing Alexander out, Son in, Pulisic out, and get Target or something, right? But like, this is probably Pulisic's best opportunity because first of all, Spurs aren't going to be sitting back. Like you said, that Mourinho hasn't got them as well oiled as he'd like. He's only had them for like 4 weeks or something, and it's been game after game. It's not like they can sit for a week and do training. They haven't had that luxury recently.
No.
So I think this is going to be Pulisic's like best opportunity to nick a goal. Now he has got really really good stats in some places and really really poor stats in others. For example, his shots on target have been horrible, but his touches in the box and everything has been great. So I'm worried that I'm going to bring Son in. Son's going to have a weird game against Rudiger, and then Pulisic is going to like get a goal and fuck me. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping doesn't happen. Ethan Hibb 17, thanks very much for being part of the Big Fat Sex Club, my man. I was gonna say that I was gonna throw out the stream code, but what I'll do is I'll just put it up in the thing. If anyone has not got the stream code and you're here, go in and add yourself to the stream. Are you in my stream league?
No.
No, I didn't want you anyway. I didn't want you there.
You don't want me clearing up. You know what I mean? I will. I'll clean up.
Yeah, you're doing really well in Kings.
I don't want to do that
or something, you asshole.
Not,
so
not
go
in,
jump in
only
the
this
stream.
month. Yeah.
I really only made a stream league, not for like bragging rights, surely is going to be there, but mostly so I could see whoever's here, I can see your team. You know what I mean? So like people can go see what I'm doing and I can see what they're doing. And I know exactly who's there. That's why I made it. There's no prize. Sorry, so hold on. Ethan said I brought Rashford in with a free hit to use as captain. Now, free hit's mental. Ethan, you've done something which every single podcast and stream I've listened to has said not to do.
Yeah, Ethan's got some big cojones.
Yeah, now he's got balls in everywhere, and he could do it in every situation. He could go anywhere with his balls.
Good on him. Good on him. I like, to be honest, it's one of those game weeks where so many podcasts, as you rightly point out, so many pundits, for want of a better term, have advised against a free hit.
Yeah.
That you feel like it could just be.
They're hiding a secret and they're all doing it.
It could just be, but more just that, like, it feels as though they're digging their own grave in a way, and that actually this will be one of those weeks where maybe those that were a little bit more aggressive, that were a little bit more bold, are the ones that are rewarded. Now the bookies' odds aren't suggesting that. No team is predicted to keep a clean sheet over 50%. No team is predicted to score over 2.5 goals over 50% either. So it's dire as far as the bookies' odds go. But how often have we seen in football in general, weird stuff happen and weird freakish weeks like this game week? You have a few, you have a blank, and I don't know. It wouldn't shock me, for example, if there's 4 or 5 goals in that Spurs Chelsea game. Now if you've played a free hit and you've bought in 3 Spurs players that you didn't have, maybe to get rid of your Liverpool players, that pretty much justifies your free hit straight away. If they have a game like they've had recently, where Ali gets one, Son gets one, maybe Kane gets an assist and a goal or something like that, a penalty. It's very easy to imagine a scenario in which someone free hits in Kane, captains him, and ends up profiting 30 points from it straight off the bat. And I would take 30 points from a free hit.
So, first of all, why don't you talk more on the podcast? You need to fucking throw these out, man. That was some hella good stats. Well done. That was great.
There were no stats. It was all pure conjecture. But,
No, you did. Oh my
I mean,
god!
yachts,
So
I
you
mean,
made me
yachts.
think. You nearly convinced me to free hit, and I would never free hit even if you paid me.
Mm.
And you were just like,
No, don't.
maybe I just like you.
No,
You just were like for 5 minutes. We're like, do it, and then I'm like, you've convinced me. Just still though, don't do it.
no.
We've got
No.
Sawsington made a really good point in the chat. So he says, "Why are you slating Spurs defense? We have the best XGA in the league at home." And
Really?
second
Great.
best actual goals conceded at home. So I've
Love
got them
that.
in front of us. Let's have a look.
As a,
Let's
as
put
a,
it in a
as
test.
an Aurier owner, that is music to my ears. I love that stat because I do believe in their defense,
And
and
he's
I think
absolutely
it's only going to get better. So
he's absolutely right. So XGA, the lowest in the league, Tottenham, 6.7 goals. And they're
is
actually only 0.22 off their actual. So they've conceded 7 away this
wow.
season at home. That's annoying. That's Sawsington. Well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
great
I'm gonna
stat,
clap.
great stat. I do. The only thing I would say to Sossington though is that they are, as we've already discussed, they're playing one of the most potent away attacks in the league this week.
Yes.
So it may be that those stats don't look quite as nice after their Chelsea match,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's a really compelling,
It's good.
maybe a really compelling reason actually to think more seriously about getting rid of Pulisic because with that in mind, I mean, Aurier's played most of their home games. He can't, I suppose, he can't be that negligent at the back, can he? If he's,
Yeah.
if he's managed to maintain an XGA that's so low.
We've got this is the immovable object and unstoppable force, isn't it? So we've got the highest XGA in the league with Tottenham at home, and then away, if we take Leicester away from it because of that freak 9-goal thing that happened, Chelsea are third for XG away,
Yeah,
but they are overperforming by 6.5 goals. So they've scored they've scored 20 goals, but they should have only maybe scored about 13, 14.
yeah.
So have they just had that little opportunity in certain away games where they've just dominated and maybe scored a bit more and it was a bit more lucky that they got the goals, or are they actually really good away?
I think they are really good away.
Okay.
I think
All right,
generally
moving on. No,
when when you're looking at team expected stats,
Yeah.
generally speaking, the good teams will always outperform their XG. Like it's just a kind of trope that you tend to find come the end of the season. The best teams will outperform their XG. So there's that, but also Chelsea haven't had many penalties on the road, and penalties are such. They're real spanners in the works when it comes to a team's underlying stats. Because if you're Man United, for example, you've been awarded maybe 6 or 7 penalties so far this season. That's basically 6 or 7 whole XG, and
Yeah.
that goes a really long way. Most goals, even the ones that look like they're unmissable, are around that 0.3, 0.4 mark. There are very very few chances that get given more than 0.5 on the XG charts. Penalties get 0.76 usually, so they can really bolster stats, and Chelsea haven't had many away penalties. So I would say that Chelsea probably deserve their 20 goals.
Right. Okay. I'm liking having Abraham, and I'm liking having Son and Ali, who I'm gonna have
Yeah.
Son by the end. So I feel like if you have Aurier, you've got 3 brilliant fixtures after this. Don't have to really worry too much. He might even get a wee cheeky assist. So what you're really hoping for is like a 3-3 with Aurier in there on an assist, just not to blank.
Yeah, and I love Aurier. I'll sing his praises until the cows come home.
Right.
It's such a great attacking player, so you always know that there's a chance he's going to get an assist or a goal.
Hold on. There was something good that was in the chat there for a second. Let me find it out. They're trying to figure out if we're doing Rate My Teams. I don't 100% know if I'm going to do any Rate My Teams today. I want to, but we are going to be chatting for a while, and I don't know if we'll have time. But if we do have time, you are new around here. I haven't seen your team yet. I'm quite intrigued. ANURAGB. I'll read them. I'll read them out.
You'll have to read them out. Yeah.
Where did I see that? Underlying stats still looks good, Southampton says. But oh yeah, that was it. Southampton said London Derby, you can kind of throw stats out the window a bit. So that's what we have to remember as well, is that like these guys are gunning for that 4th place, 3rd place. So we're gonna have to figure that out.
I mean, the Spurs Chelsea match that I think sticks in most memories is the Battle of the Bridge, the very famous Spurs Chelsea match in which Chelsea's it was 2-2 in the end, and Hazard's fantastic individual effort handed Leicester the title. 11 players were booked in it, I reckon, if memory serves me correctly, and that was a derby in every single sense of the word, but it was still 2-2. So
Yeah.
I would like to think. I just think the place in which these two teams are at the moment,
Mm.
they're both prioritising attacking football, scoring more goals than their opponents. None of them have been particularly tight at the back. I just feel like it's really got a recipe for a good 4 or 5 goal game, which means it'll probably be 0-0.
And to add to that, Tottenham, if they win, they go fourth on goal difference, and Chelsea go fifth.
There's
So
an
they would
extra
they would
impetus there.
absolutely, and they've got almost exact opposites in form just now. Chelsea are on loss loss win loss loss, and Tottenham are on win win loss win win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, I think
That is,
everyone's
yeah,
correct in
literally
trying to get
opposite.
Son in or Ali. I also like captaining either of them. I think it would be difficult for me to captain Ali if I had Son, just because of some weird price thing that's inside me.
Yeah, I'll do
I
that.
also like to fucking just completely ignore anyone who says this player did well in previous seasons, so therefore I'm going to do that. It's
Mm-hmm.
never worked for me, and I'm never ever going to use it. And any time that I have kind of like, all right, okay, that's an extra reason to do that, I'll do it. That it's fallen short. So I'm
Yeah,
probably going to ignore that, and I'll probably be captaining
yeah.
Son if it's going to be any of them, unless I had Kane, in which case you have to make his price worth it, right?
Different managers, and so I agree with you. I just think there's any comparisons to the past are just things are too different, and different
Yeah.
players, different managers. So I agree with you, man.
There was
I,
also a great Reddit thing before we go on to whatever you were just about to interrupt me with. There was also sorry. There was also a
You're speaking
great
like a
Reddit
Turk.
thing. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it up in front of me. It was the case against Ali versus Chelsea. Now, if you guys haven't read this, it was actually really really good. It was like maybe 200 words, and all you have to read is this word Kante. One word Kante, says it in himself. I've linked it in the chat. He says there's just one problem with this notion, one word Kante. Under Mourinho, Ali has been one of Spurs' most advanced players, playing a shadow striker role, looking to make runs in behind. Kante operates in that exact space, the same space, and with his world-class prowess in intercepting and cutting out attacks, Ali could find it difficult to be effective in his current role. Now, there's a lot of like doing words in there, but you get the point.
Mhm.
Kante is
Yeah,
going to be marking Ali. So that's,
yeah.
I feel like and then he goes on to say that like, yeah, flanks are vulnerable in Chelsea and we should probably look at Son more. I think anyone who's fast and running into the box as opposed to like, doing the 1-2s and etc. from through the middle should be, so Lucas Moura, for example, is still as good as Son, I think, for this game. What were you
I
going to
think
say?
what I think what it actually follows on quite nicely from what you were saying there is that I think what I love about Son and why he'll probably be my captain on game week 18 is that it's not just the goal threat that he has, which of course is notable, and we should be considering that. His XG is fine. It's not exceptional over the last 6 games. He's about on par with Ali and Sterling, but less than, for example, Mo Salah and Marcus Rashford and players like that. But what I love about Son is that over the last 6 games, he has the highest XA of any team.
Does he
Sorry, of
really?
any player in the Premier League.
He's
Yeah,
beaten
highest
all the
of any
teams.
yeah,
He's outscoring Southampton.
that would be
Fucking bring him
smart.
in.
To be fair, he probably is outscoring
Yeah, see,
Southampton.
on the
But,
podcast, it's really professional. And if you make a mistake, we just ignore it unless you yourself say it. Oh, I've messed up. Let's record it again. But on the
yeah,
stream
yeah.
in your live, everyone just has heard you fuck up. I'm totally gonna call it when you should definitely do the same with me. No, I
Fair, fair.
100% though. He's got the best XG, and it'd be mental to not bring him in.
XA,
XA,
XA.
sorry.
If we're talking about calling out mistakes, and
There you
yeah,
go.
XA,
I
yeah,
apologize.
the best best XA over the last 6 games,
Yeah.
which is massive. I mean, it's weird because he's never struck me as the kind of player that would rack up XA. Like he doesn't. He's quite selfish when it comes to shooting, like, and I love that in him. He's very goal hungry. Like he'll shoot from weird angles. But actually, no, in his locker, he has a very significant chance creation, which is just really compelling when you're looking at a captain, I think.
Yeah. No, I think that we've pretty much summed up. We like both attacks, and Son is probably the best choice out of that game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move us on. Before we do, there's a few people in the chat that I haven't seen in ages. Shaughnessy's here. Who else was there? Lucas David is back. Welcome. Ethan, our new follower, has said, "What game week did your league start?" And then a little bit further down the chat, he goes, "Why did it start at game week 11?" And the simple fact is that that's when I started doing well. So I started with the league, but when about it's my fucking league and it's my stream. What do you want me to do? Oblivious Gaming is very excited that we have over 40 followers or 40 viewers just now. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This has been a very, very, very high viewing Thursday, and I'm pretty sure it's down to your sexy ass, James. So cheers for coming on. And finally,
it's got nothing to do with my ass, I can tell you that much. But,
no, I have a funny story about my arse actually. You could tell.
Oh, go on. Actually, I do too. Maybe for the end.
We are like one. We're like a transformer, and we just join in. You've said that, and then it went to 50 viewers, so people are really tuned in to seeing your arse story.
Maybe I'll get my tits out later as well.
Wow. Okay. We've went past it now. Tom's also here. There's also a new thing in Twitch where if you've got 100 points, you can highlight your message. I don't really know how many points people get or why they get them, but there you go. Wow, he's used his points for it, so thanks very much, Tom. Right, let me have a look at the chat because there was something that I seen there. It's impeach Dave, abuse of power. Yeah, well, fuck me, it's my stream. Flapjack's here. You met him on Friday. Lovely chap.
He was drunk. He was drunk when I met him. He was absolutely smashed.
I think he was the first one in the pub, so I think he was drunk when everyone met him.
Yeah. I think he could have done with eating a few flapjacks to kind of absorb some of that alcohol. In
I know. He should have taken a little bit of his own namesake there.
Word. Yeah.
Dave, what's your overall rank? There's no need to discuss that at this point in time.
Great question. I reckon impeach if he's outside of the top million.
You remember when Holly kept asking the same question on your ask the pod questions, and it was
bless her, yeah.
I'm outside of 1 million. Is it time to panic? Over and over every week, and I've been thinking about keeping that torch going because she's now in the top million and I'm still outside it. Though to be fair, I've had the worst start to any season that I've seen so far in the community. I was 3 millionth, and I'm on a professional podcast.
I mean, professional's a generous word for it.
Okay,
but yeah,
sorry.
Yeah,
but not free, not free podcast.
Yeah.
It's definitely
it's definitely meant to be professional. I just whether it is or not remains to be. I would really like to. I don't know whether you found what you were looking for in a chat, but I something that's been on my mind recently, Dave, and maybe you can help me out with this.
Yeah.
Is I'm like a lot of people this week. I'm looking at getting rid of my Liverpool midfielder, which in my instance is Mo Salah, and Son, seems to be the one that most people are gravitating to. But I do wonder, as an Ali owner already, whether that double op could be risky. Like, it's a lot to put in a Spurs side that is still kind of finding their feet under new management. I'm looking at Man City again, and potentially Raheem Sterling as an alternative. Raheem Sterling, the most likely midfielder to score in game week 18, to refer back to the bookies odds. So the bookies are backing him. I think he's 49%, so still not over 50, but the highest for midfielders. You compare that to Son, who was at 33%, for example, and suddenly you just think, well, maybe actually Raheem Sterling is a bit of a differential now. Could I maybe profit from that home fixture?
How long are you keeping him for? What would you be doing? That's obviously just a week, right?
Probably 1 week and then getting Salah back, because I really like owning the guy now.
I don't think it's worth it then, because Leicester at home are better than Chelsea.
Leicester away at the Etihad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sorry. Yeah. If Man City are playing Leicester and Son and his mates are playing Chelsea, I'd rather have one of them, because Leicester's defense are much better than Chelsea's. And that's as far as I would go with it. See, if it was one game week, then that's an easy choice. But if you add another game week onto that, because technically Salah is also playing Leicester, so you might not actually want him back in game week 19 because he's playing Leicester. In which case, and then he's playing Wolves and Sheffield United, then Tottenham and Man United. So if we're doing 2 game weeks, then it's a bit different. Or it's pretty much the same story. Sorry, because Sterling then goes on to play Wolves away, and Son's playing Burnley at home, I think.
You want Son
Brighton,
for that?
Sorry, Brighton at home. Yeah, so you want Son for that again.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
But if you go further than that, then you're getting back to the point where, like, you know, City can trash anyone. They're picking up on their form. You know, if Kevin De Bruyne keeps playing where he was playing last game week, that's why Sterling scored, not because Sterling was doing any better, but because Kevin De Bruyne was further up and they were just much more attacking and not worrying about defense. Sterling scored another, I think, 2 tap-ins at the weekend there, so he's going to be a bit more like up for it and going. Wolves, Sheffield, Everton, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, then Sheffield again. Those are decent fixtures for a City in form team. Whereas I think I would prefer City in the long run because of the price point as well. If it doesn't work out, you can always go down to Son.
Let's say that you're the manager of a real team, not a fantasy football team.
Okay. That's good, because I play Football Manager a lot more than I play this fucking game.
Who do you support? You're a Celtic fan.
Yes.
So, as a Celtic fan, who would you rather Celtic sign, Son or Sterling?
Sterling, of course, right? It's got to be. How old Sterling?
Is it though?
How old is Sterling?
He's, I don't know, 23, 24, 24, I guess.
Sterling.
Okay, because I don't know that that's that obvious. You know, you look at that goal that Son scored the other day, where he basically ran it from one end of the pitch to the other, and you just kind of feel like does Sterling have that in his locker? Like I don't know. Sometimes I look at Son, I just think he is the most talented player in the league. That shouldn't necessarily affect my fantasy football decisions, but it kind of does a little bit. Like I just like owning players who just
could do that. Yeah.
And that's why I've wanted Mane for so long, because I just think he looks like a more talented player than Salah most matches, even if Salah's the one who's getting the returns.
I think you're right. Like, okay, so if for Celtic, who would I want? It would be Sterling, because we'd get more money if we sold him. Yeah,
but I don't mean
and all that stuff. I know, but you've unlocked the Football Manager in me, okay? So shirts. We've got England now all of a sudden like watching Scottish football for no reason other than we've got Sterling, which is nice. And then you've got the shirt sales.
Don't underestimate that Korean fan base though for Son, because he brings a following.
How many people live in Korea? South Korea, obviously.
Are you googling it?
Yep.
This is live.
This is how it works. South Korea.
Yeah, I know.
51 million. Oh fuck. Wait, 51 million. How many people How many people live in England? And then obviously England, 55 million. But then obviously England are divided, so you could probably half that. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Son's probably the better informed player right now, but Son is not a better player than Sterling. And yeah, I don't think Son is a better player than Sterling. Son.
Interesting. I don't know, man.
But really Sterling plays in a team full of fucking belters, right? Like, there's no other way to say it. There's so many good players in City. Whereas if Kane doesn't show up, who else other than Son is like a world class player? Ali's not world class. He's great, and he has done great things. But you need to be consistent for years to be world class, and he just hasn't been there. He didn't even make the fucking team last year. Eriksen, obviously, but he's having a wee strop. So if Kane doesn't show up, it's Son or nothing, right? Lucas Moura, if you gave Mourinho the war chest, he's fucking buying a right winger. You know he's gonna. So for me, and obviously a centre back and a right back and blah blah blah. He's got a lot of stuff to do. But like Lucas Moura is definitely like available for not playing. He's easily benched. Whereas Son, you can't bench him because he's too good.
He's getting on a bit though, Lucas Moura, as well, isn't he? Like he's not. Yeah, he's not kind of approaching a free bus pass, but he doesn't need a flu jab yet or anything like that. But he's definitely, I think he's in his, I don't know. I'm going to embarrass myself here, but I feel like I feel like I was saying I'm going to embarrass myself by guessing his age, but I reckon he's maybe 30.
Right.
He's one of those players like Aubameyang, where like you just forget that actually they've been playing quite a long time.
Lucas Moura is the same age as Son.
27 years old?
Yeah.
Fuck me. Must just be that receding.
How embarrassing. It's literally just because he's bald. That is it. That is so harassed. Or oh,
Hairy.
what's it called when Nelson's like, you're epidermist. You're epidermist, right? Because epidermis is your anyway.
Oh, you're yeah.
KM94 says Egypt is 110 million, so Salah is definitely the one you want for fucking shirt sales, and I
Yeah.
absolutely agree. Sosington said that Sterling also played 75 minutes last night. We can't rule that out, definitely. So Son has had a week, right? They've done fuck all this week.
Yeah. No, that's
So
it. It's a really
there you
good
go.
point. I think Sterling will definitely play, and that's but yeah, in terms of freshness, you always want a player that's better rested, I suppose. So yeah, Son. I'm doing Salah to Son. That's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Okay.
I feel convinced
Hold on, I
now.
need to look at
Yeah.
your team because I'm of the opinion. I've been telling people who have been watching the stream that I really don't like, and this is a good point to like say that we're going to be moving on to the Liverpool blank. So this is what this section is. So get your Liverpool stats out, lads. Get your stats out for the lads. Um, I just say things that come into my head. Honestly,
Yes, I
that's
like
all
it.
we do.
I like it. Man.
So this is your team up front, right? And you've got Alexander Arnold in. Why are you not getting rid of him? Why are you getting rid of Salah when you know you're gonna want him back? Because he's fucking banging right now. You have Kelly, you've got Rico, you've got Lundstrom, you've got Aurier, so you could totally just bench whoever you bring in for Alexander Arnold, no sweat. Whereas Salah, I guess it's because you don't have any other route to
The,
Sterling or Son
the
or whatever.
the reason is simple. It's because getting rid of Alexander Arnold doesn't feel like an easy way to profit from the blank. Whereas getting rid of, what's the point of using a transfer to get rid of Alexander Arnold just to bench that replacement? I'd much rather get
No,
rid of
but
Salah
you
for
would
one
have
week.
money and upgrade Mount to Son, though. No, have you got 2 free transfers?
Yes, but
Can you afford that? Can you go check that out on your phone right now?
I think I would have to downgrade to like a 4 million defender.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's
Yeah,
actually what I'm doing.
but I think that's far more disruptive to my
Oh,
team.
really?
If I just did Salah to Son and that was it, I'd have 2 free transfers next week as well, so I
Uh-huh.
can bring Salah back if I want.
Right.
I just feel like I always wanted this to be a 1 game week punt, and
Right. Okay.
that's why I've kept 2 free transfers so that I can do it without wasting a transfer.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just have a quick look though, just to kind of humour the.
Humor me. I'll show
I'll
the
just
stream
do
my
it.
transfers then while you're looking. Column says play Kelly. And I guess
I
that would
am
be
playing Kelly. Yeah,
you'd be definitely playing
definitely
Kelly.
playing
Sosington said you can downgrade TA then upgrade Mount to Son. I'm sure he typed that before I said that. And
Kelly. Southampton is just on fire tonight.
he's great, by the way. He hasn't been in the stream in a while.
I mean, Southampton,
Lucas
man,
David
you need to.
said boring. Take TAA out. I agree.
Um,
So let's talk about my fucking No, sorry. Continue. What were you
no,
gonna
no,
say?
it's going. No, for what it's worth, I wouldn't be able to do Trent to anyone and be able to afford to bring in Son for Mount. Son's
Oh, you wouldn't?
10.1 now. What the hell? So I've got no
Right.
money in the bank, so that would not be
Oh,
possible.
okay.
So for me, I totally get what people are saying, and like Trent is the player who I would want to get rid of if I had to pick
Yeah.
between Salah and Trent. But in terms of maximising the opportunity of game week 18, Salah is the more sensible player to get rid of, in my opinion.
Oh, here on
But
this
I'm open to persuasion.
here on the stream, we are pretty much 100% fixtures over form. Now, obviously, I say we as in me, because a lot of people disagree on the stream chat. But I've got in front of me now to game week 23, okay? So let's even take the blank out of it. So I'm going to move up one. And then we're just going to go and see where Liverpool's fixtures are. Because we were talking about Chelsea and Spurs attack and how we're not really bothered about any conceding goals because we're hoping that it's going to be like a big scoring 2-2 so that we can have all our points in the right places and we're not expecting them to keep clean sheets. I think that Salah and Mane are in the exact same situation where they're going to score and you can't deny that they're in great form. But I also think we have to just take this up. I'm taking this opportunity to finally get rid of a player who has conceded in almost every game that he's played, Trent Alexander-Arnold. So
Yeah.
if I look at game week 19 to game week 24, the top of the fixture ticker, which everyone can see except you, is Bournemouth, then Spurs, then Chelsea, then Leicester, then Crystal Palace, then Man City, right? Liverpool are 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth from the bottom. They've got Leicester, then Wolves, then Sheffield, then Tottenham, then Manchester United, then Wolves again. They have the 5th hardest fixtures, and I doubt they're going to be keeping clean sheets. As like If it was good fixtures, I would doubt it because of their history, but they're hard fixtures. So I don't know if that changes anything, but it's such a good opportunity to not worry about Liverpool defenders hurting your rank.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you worry about them hurting your rank because you don't own them, because
Mm.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is so capable of attacking returns and not just assists either. Although his assists, I think in 2019 it's almost a 1-to-2 ratio of assists to matches. Like he is so he gets an attacking return in nearly 50% of his games this year,
Hmm.
which is the stuff of dreams for an FPL manager.
Yeah.
I feel as though Liverpool, I don't know. I feel like in some ways they're more capable of keeping clean sheets when they're up against tougher opposition because
I've got that feeling too. It's weird, isn't
yeah,
it?
because their approach to the game is maybe a little bit more rigid and a little bit more unadventurous and sensible and playing in a way that you expect a Premier League winning team to play, which is to be conservative when you need to be conservative
Yeah.
and kind of manage games and see them out if you
Ha-
get a lead and
hashtag too soon.
hashtag too soon indeed, yeah.
That's funny.
But like they do seem to have adopted more of that mentality. You compare it to the Liverpool of 2 seasons ago, and it was all just about outscoring your opponent. That was kind of the Norwich-esque way of doing things: concede but also score.
Yeah.
And I feel like they are, even though you're right, they are conceding goals. Their XGA is still really good. It's still up there with the best of them. I do think they've been unlucky. I think they've been prone to conceding lots of very good goals, which obviously are difficult to legislate for. And I still just believe that players like Trent and Robertson as well will come good, and they are probably just worth keeping there. But that's me, and that's maybe a sign of I'm a much more conservative manager than I used to be.
Yeah. You're
I
getting
would have
older.
the me exactly. I am. The me of 3 or 4 seasons ago would have slung him probably 3 or 4 weeks ago,
I
and I would have been
think
loving life.
people in the chat are worried for you. I would keep Salah, James. Is he starting to hit form? Other people saying that they're going to be keeping their midfielders and then bringing
Bring
them
him
back
back though.
in.
Bring him back next week.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not done with Salah now. I just think I either keep him and have to watch Son. Son. It's not just like I'm bringing in a player. It's I'm bringing in my captain for game week 18, which is another thing. So
Yeah.
I just feel like if Son
Yeah, that's true.
is
You
an
are get
assistant,
you have no other way of getting Son in, and if that's your favorite to captain, I can't fault you. That's good logic at least.
with
You're gonna bring him
two
in
free
and
transfers
captain.
in the back, so I'll have 2 free transfers next week
Yeah.
to bring Salah back and maybe then get rid of Trent. Maybe I don't know.
See, if you were a bit younger, you would have already brought Son in. You might have made some money off him.
If I was younger, I'd be on a free hit by now.
Daft says, Dave, I'm so excited to play my wild card. I'll get in Salah to Kevin De Bruyne. So I'll have Mane and Salah. And if Zlatan comes to Everton, he's coming straight in if Chelsea won't kickstart again. I love the old I love the optimism that not only is Ancelotti coming in, but that means Zlatan is coming too. I've heard the rumours though, but he's been rumoured for every team imaginable.
He has,
And
yeah.
he starts the rumours too. He goes, "Oh, maybe I'll go to Everton." And then the fucking world implodes, and he goes, and then the next week he'll go, "Why would I ever move to Everton?" And then that's him. So I'm gonna show my transfers now. This is so you're going the whole route of like I can't get Son in any other way. I'm gonna captain him. So Salah out for 1 week, Son in, and then move it back if necessary. Maybe even hold Son for another week if you don't want to move on
Yeah.
Salah for Leicester. I am on the other end of that, which I still think is like they're both good moves, if I do say so myself. But it's because I've got Pulisic instead of Mount, so that, and I've also got 1.7 million in the bank because I'm a shrewd spender. And I'm I'm 1.1 million
Help me out,
overall
my
reaction.
shopping.
No, it was oh yeah, that's true. I could you should see how many deals I got today.
Oh man.
I could show them on stream even. They're right beside me. No, El Neni to Grealish was Drunk Dave's suggestion, and I have dinghied that, and then he missed a penalty. So fuck you, Drunk Dave. That was one too many. Although he has done really well. But it also means that I can then
that's
just
not
go.
a terrible suggestion, to be fair. Getting rid
No,
of
I
El.
know, but
It's
they
not.
both scored the same amount of points, hilariously.
That's true. They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So Alexander Arnold out, and then Pulisic out, and I can afford Son straight up without. And I've got 2 free transfers, right? And then I've got 6.1 million remaining to replace Alexander Arnold, but I'm actually only going to replace him with like a cheap player,
With
which
your
will
dividend
be
spending
Target.
strategy.
Yeah, so I've got a little thing in the bank. So
God,
Target
it's like
4.4.
an austerity regime. Your team is.
It's
There's
definitely
no room
shrouded.
for investment.
It's shrouded in autism, let me tell you. So we've got Target coming in, right?
Austerity, not autism.
No, I know. I've taken
Okay,
that and
sorry,
I've moved it
right.
onto. I heard what you said.
Okay, I just wanted
I'm
to
just
make
letting you
sure
know
that
that
there's
it's
no
definitely
confusion there.
no.
Yeah.
My stream knows I'm autistic. It's kind of how it works.
Cool.
So I hope they do anyway, because they'll just think
But
I'm
if they
making
don't,
fun
they
of
do
autistic
now.
people. No, they might just think I'm a dickhead. Anyway, so Target's coming in at 4.4 million. I've had a wee look. He's my favorite of that price range. We went through it on Monday, but some Daphs is saying Gilbert versus Target, but Southampton, who Aston Villa are playing, are much less defense-minded on Target's flank than Gilbert, and that's literally the only reason. Because I'm only bringing him in, and for like to play for 1 week, and then he's going to be a bench player. So I need, and if it was the other side, I'd bring Gilbert in. So it's as simple as that. We don't have to spend too much time on who I'm bringing in for TA. But the real fun is getting Pulisic out for Son, and I've got 1.7 million left in the bank. And then Ings is going to go because his fixtures are getting really bad. Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Leicester, Wolves, Crystal Palace again, then Liverpool. Like, I don't like any of those fixtures, are all shite except for Aston Villa, which is next week, which I'm keeping him for. Get rid of him. Who for? Obviously, it's going to be Mapai. We were on
Really?
Monday. Yeah, of course. On Monday, I was talking
Not
that,
obvious.
like, it's definitely obvious. I was talking about Mapai on Monday, and I was like, this is what my plan is. And then as I was talking about this transfer, he scored in real life.
Mate, I'd rather have an actual pie up front than no pie.
No, he's good. Do you not like him? I think he's amazing. He scored 4
I
goals in
just-
the last 4 games or some
Yeah,
shit.
no. Oh, he's obviously a talented guy. I mean, he's better at football than I am, but my memory of Mopai as far as fantasy football goes is remember he had that couple of games. I think one was against Norwich and maybe the other one was against someone like Villa or something. Anyway, a lot of people brought him in as kind of like a 2-week punt, including I think Mark
And Holly.
and Holly. Yeah, and he did nothing. And
What, he
I
scored?
don't know.
He
No,
scored.
not in those few games.
Yeah, he did. He scored against
Okay.
Everton, game week 10. Yeah. They got 1 goal off him, and then they fucked him off.
Okay.
And I was raging because I was like that. I was like you. I was like, surely you're not going to bring a Brighton player, and that's just ridiculous. And then he did it, and he scored, and I was like, for fuck's sake.
All right, fair enough.
I'm
I
annoyed.
stand corrected. Maybe
I know.
he's not. Maybe he's not so bad. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like it's weird to do Ings to Mopai because I feel like they're so similar in the way that they'll score 1 goal. Like Ings has been more consistent than Mopai. I just don't. I don't know. I thought you were going to say someone like. I thought you were going to use that spare cash and go for someone like Rashford or.
Well, the cash is for Salah.
Right.
Oh,
So you then,
do. This is what it is, right? So I need exactly 0.4 million, which is Ings to Mapai, and then I can do Son to Salah for a perfect amount of money. So I'm
then
gonna
will
have
you have Mane and Salah.
yes. Here
So
we
you'll have the
go,
Liverpool
10 in a
double.
row. Exactly. And I'll have that for game week 20, 21, unfortunately Tottenham away and Manchester United, but then I've got, Wolves, Southampton, Norwich, West Ham, etc., etc. So I think that Salah's in better form than Tottenham players, and I'm going to just capitalize on that. But if it comes to it, I've got Son there and I don't want to do that, then you're right, I can use that money elsewhere. But that's the plan. So I've got enough money just to do this. And it means that, and to be honest, it doesn't have to be Ings to Mopai. I could do Abraham to Jimenez or, Abraham to anyone. Like I just need 0.4 million and that's an easy transfer because Ings is a fire after game week 19 because of his fixtures and Mapai's fixtures start getting good.
If Son does really well, and he increases in price by 0.2 or 0.3 million over the Christmas period, will you still be able to make the transfer? No, of course you will, because
Yeah, because I'm doing Son this week.
Yeah, sorry. If Salah does well after he returns, and what I mean is, do you have enough leverage? Do you have enough leeway in case there's price rises or falls?
No.
Well, let's say Son gets a red card or
No,
something.
I have exactly
Okay.
zero. But
So it's a gamble.
It's a gamble. But if Mapai is not like, so I've got exactly enough to get him in, right? But if it turns out that I need more, then I could drop that to Connolly and play 4 at the back, 4-4-2 or whatever. You know, like I can still do it. It would just be a bit more annoying. Okay. I'm going to have a wee look at the chat because I've neglected you guys because I was so excited to show you my transfers. Daft says it's FPL. It doesn't matter if one is defensively better than the other. You didn't understand what I meant between Gilbert and Target. Did you know what I meant? I mean, Target's flank is going to be more attacking than Gilbert's, right?
Yeah, what you mean is that the player that Target would be facing up against. Is that what you mean? Like is worse. Yeah,
Southampton's right back is worse than their left back, or their right side is worse than their left side.
So Target will have more attacking freedom. Yeah.
Daf says, I agree with you, James. I like Mapai, but not as an FPL player. Bartimus Jr., who by the way followed before the stream was even live. Thank you very much. You didn't get a little thing. I'm going to play the little Messi to the near post. Do you know who I'm talking about when I do that? Have you heard my little follow thing? It's the guy who's like he's in like an American that does the La Liga coverage, and he's like, he's a Jedi Knight. He's Welsh, and he's like, no, he's the Paladin. Oh, that guy. Anyway, so here we go. This is for you. Thank you very much for following, buddy. He said, Mapai's been stuck in my anti-team for weeks. I've always had bigger fires to put out. In your anti-team. Well, that's not good.
Does he mean the anti-team, or does he mean his auntie's team?
No, sorry, that's my Canadian accent coming out. No, he means anti, as in like an anti-aircraft gun.
Yeah, okay, right, yeah.
But does he mean an auntie's aircraft gun, as in he shoots down aircrafts, or does he mean his aunt owns an aircraft that has a gun? I see what you're saying. No, I know. It just goes on and on.
Yeah, but no, I know what you mean, yeah.
It's Ross says second best Brighton striker and Murray, and I think that's a dig at me for having Murray at the start of the season, but whatever. Start of season, Andy Murray punt, yep, Southampton's back. Yeah, they're making fun of me. Okay, let's skip on that for a bit.
Andy Murray punt, that is a bold punt.
I know.
Someone who doesn't even play the sport.
Is it Glenn?
It is.
It's Glenn, isn't it?
Glenn, yeah.
I've got an Andy Murray t-shirt.
Andy Murray in your FPL team would be a bold shout.
He's good at football. Have you seen him play? He was doing keepy-ups with a tennis ball. Google that shit. He's amazing at it.
Yeah.
Ings has Kit Kat Shin, says Calm. Yeah, but he's not missed a single game this season. So those Kit Kats have been in the freezer, my man. Those are hard rock ass fucking chunky boys. Everyone on this earth will have Mane and Salah soon. I agree, Lucas. Definitely agree.
Kit Kat Shins, that's so good.
Das says Pookie Pie or Mapai. You know what? Did I tell you, James, that Tips told me that he likes Pookie when we did the striker stream? He was like, I actually think Pookie's going to do well. And then I told him to say it on stream, and he was like, absolutely no way am I going live and saying Pookie's going to do well. And then he scored, and 2 seconds after he scored, he DM'd me and was like, told you.
You've got to be brave. You know,
I know. He brought in Rich Arlison, unfortunately, for Kevin De Bruyne the other day. Oof.
I've just always been of the opinion that, like me and you, Dave, could come on here and we could talk about how, we could spend the whole stream talking about how, Jimenez might be. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes you've got to be a little bit different, haven't you? And just, stick your neck out above the parapet.
Definitely. I mean, it's 10 minutes before we both tell our stories. So, right. And please, buddy, can you tell me how you spell your name or say your name or whatever? I'm just going to call you Anu, which really is really close to anus. Is Anaragba? Watch Salah increase in price by that time. So, yeah, there's a few people that are a bit worried that my plan is going to go awry. I feel like Daphs has just written anal. Yes, that was the joke. No, but Salah's is going to go down in price because of the blank. And if he isn't, then I don't think he's going to go up against Leicester. And by that time, I could bring him in anyway. So I'm not 100% worried about, like, it doesn't matter how many times Son goes up because I can afford Salah. So therefore I can afford Son, right? So that doesn't bother me. What would be an issue is if Mapai goes up. Now, I think, when did the Fantasy Football Scout go out? Was it Tuesday? No, Wednesday morning. And they are all over Mapai's dick. So I'm worried that they swing it a little bit. I'm gonna go into my
Swing
little.
my pie's dick.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna swing his dick all the way up to a price rise. It's gonna be annoying. So let's go into the price rises. Let's have a look. Kane's going up tonight. Lucas Moura and Ali. I've never seen a triple Spurs right at the top there. And then we've got Reed, James, Dunk, Soyuncu, all the usuals. Target is an issue because I'm targeting him. Fucking hate you, James, so much.
Love it.
And then Tamori's going down and has been going down for the last 3 or 4 days. All the usual people. I'm gonna have a look at Pulisic as well. Is there anyone you're concerned about that's fallen? Oh, Pulisic is so close. 96.3. He was like 60 this morning, or yesterday. Sorry. I might make my fixtures. I might do my transfers now. Actually.
Yeah, do them on the stream.
Do you want me to do them on the stream? Is it Son? I definitely want Son. Because if Ancelotti's there, I could do Richarlison for 2 weeks against Arsenal. But then Arteta's going on Friday, right? Did you hear that? I heard that.
Can I just say something about Arsenal?
Yes, of course. Is this your Arse story?
There is it's not. No, that's coming up. No. There is a popular opinion that Arsenal are terrible at defending, especially away from home.
Yeah.
Yes, they are, in terms of how they look.
Thank you very much for your story, James. Right, let's move into the live.
However, I was when I was writing my article today, I was going to make the point that Everton should be given higher odds than they were given because of the fact that Arsenal are so bad at defending. And I thought I better just check the stats here. And Arsenal's defence away from home is not bad at all. They haven't conceded that many goals away from home. They've got a really good XGA away from home as well. They are deceivingly pretty good at defending away from home. So that put me off Richarlison.
Okay. But they are Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they're away from home.
but I'm no Arsenal.
I'm just saying what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, it's your funeral, Dave. So go for.
Oh no, I don't want to go for Richarlison. I think Son's obviously a better choice. We've just seen that they've, Chelsea are. Yeah, no, everything we said. I think Son. Like you're bringing him just to captain him. I can't dinghy him. And he's got really good fixtures next week, and I'm not bringing Salah into thingy. So yeah. He told us what he's from Canada. That's embarrassing. I'm from Barrie in just near Toronto in Ontario, so I should know how to say his name. You know what it is? It's because it says GB at the end, so I'm thinking Great Britain. So I'm looking at it as Anuragaba. You know what I mean? But it's actually Anurag. That's easy to say. Thanks very much, buddy, for confirming that. He's been following for 60 minutes. Confirmed. And then we're talking about prices a little bit.
He's passed the. He's on 2 or 3 points now, depending on whether he's got a clean sheet.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see someone retweeted? Someone retweeted like, "Hope you're okay, Andy." They retweeted it and they said, "Does this mean he's going to be making a shout out in the 59th minute pod?" I was on the train and I put my phone down. I was like belly laughing on the seat. That was the funniest. It's so horrible and so hilarious. And I know Andy's read that and went, "That's funny," and moved on. Like, he wouldn't care. But that is just some good shit.
That tickled you.
It's so good. Where are we? Missed a trick there. Oblivious Gaming. Come on, Anurag. The name is very close to. I don't know what we're talking. Guys, be nice. I don't have my mod here and I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to mod. Actually, I've been learning though. Half Canadian, half Scottish too. Are you? Is there more of us? Papa's got a brand new rag. Is that his team name?
There are only one.
Yeah, there's loads. They called it Nova Scotia, which means New Scotland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh. Those are the guys that say a boot. Well, not really, but it's close. It's close enough.
Oh, right.
That comes from Scottish people.
This is all making sense now.
My mates go, "Oh, what time is it?" It's about 5:30. And then like in the day after that, they'll go, "Haha, David says a boot." Like, you fucking say it every day of your life. I can't get away from it. And people ask me do you remember back in the day when South Park brought out, like, you could make your own little character, so all the crews would make their own? Did you do that? My mates did it, and they had like a kind of a selfie like group picture of South Park characters that looked like us, and I was the fucking guy with like the half head slit in my face because I'm Canadian.
Oh yeah,
Like I
yeah,
can't get away
yeah.
from it. It's just something that
Live.
happens everywhere.
Oh,
It's South Park's fault that Canada's so shamed.
were you really tall? Was your character really tall as well?
Yeah,
Because you are freakishly tall.
I don't think I am, but then
Well,
again,
no, you're
like you
not
wouldn't know
freakishly
yourself.
tall.
To
It
me.
when stood next to the entirety of the human population, you're not freakishly tall. But just when stood next to my expectations of how tall I thought you were going to be, you are gargantuan.
Mm. Did you know
Yeah,
if you're 7 foot tall in America, there's a 17% chance you play in the NBA?
yeah, that's a good fact, man.
That was on Reddit, and I was
See
like,
the
"What?"
logic of
Like,
that. Yeah, I can see the logic of that.
that's mental. Anyway, let's do these transfers then. Shall we do it? And I want to hear your R story because we're
Okay,
coming
like
up to
while you
the.
do the transfer.
Yeah, but also you tweeted saying, "What should I ask Dave?" And I haven't looked at them, but I'm kind of excited. Did you
Oh,
get
should
any
I
more
ask you
traction on
some?
that? Yeah, do that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay, so they're all a bit weird. The first one was from hang on a minute, FPL Fantasy Plonker,
Mm-hmm.
who we met on Friday. Lovely chap,
Oh, did we?
very good looking, very chiseled jaw.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Just you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, like he had like the really good like chiseled jaw and like sculpted stubble around
Uh-huh.
it, and
Yeah,
it was very.
he looked like a model. He looked
He
like
looked
I've
like
seen him in a
yeah,
Calvin Klein advert. Yeah.
he
I know
looked
what
like
you're
he could have
talking
sliced a cucumber
He
with
looked
that
like
jaw.
what you look like in your WhatsApp picture.
Yeah, he looks like me when like I'm really trying to look trim and good looking and
What
fail.
did he say?
Anyway, he says, yeah, like I say, weird question. Is a Jaffa cake a cake or a biscuit?
Isn't it like if it rises, it's one, and if it doesn't, it's the other, or something? I don't know. I fucking hate Jaffa cakes. There's some
If it
Scottish people.
rises.
Yeah, like if it rises, it's a cake in the oven or whatever, and if it's a biscuit, it doesn't.
Oh,
There's like a
okay.
scientific reason why things are called cakes and biscuits.
I knew you would have a
But
scientific answer.
regardless, I hate both of them. I hate them because there's something in like Scotland. Now I'm gonna go into it. Right, this is just me. They can only see me. Okay, fucking Scotland, stop putting fruit in your chocolate. Just stop it. Cherry's chocolate, orange, Jaffa cake, they're minging. It's fucking disgusting. Just leave it alone. Kit Kat, crunchy, just standard stuff. Absolutely amazing. If you want fruit, eat it after. Just stop putting in your chocolate. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Next question.
I cancel the order on the fruit and nut by all. Matt at Zion, his name's Matt. He said, "Would you rather eat haggis off of a naked Theresa May,
Oh,
tempting,
fucking
or,
hell.
or drink iron brew out of Nicola Sturgeon's belly button?" I know which one I'd do.
Yeah, Iron Brew, right? Because
Yeah, all day
Theresa May's
long.
fucking
That's
minging.
so easy.
Wait, what was
That's
the
so
first one?
easy.
Out of her arse. Haggis out of her arse.
Haggis? No.
What was
Just,
it? I'm making
just
it more complicated.
you are and more
Freudian
disgusting.
slippy.
Would he rather eat haggis off a naked Theresa May? So it
Oh,
doesn't
just
specify
anywhere.
on the yeah. So it could just be like a forearm.
Right, okay.
Or drink iron brew out of Nicola Sturgeon's belly button. I feel like it's Nicola Sturgeon all day long.
I also, like, even if it was Theresa May, right? Like, eating off of any part of her body, haggis. I like haggis and I don't really like Iron Brew that much. Iron Brew's so hard to define, let alone, like, deal with if you've moved here after a certain amount of time. Like, I never tried Iron Brew till I was 17 or something. It's just so
Right,
weird.
didn't
It's
grow
like
up
me.
with it.
It's like me giving you guys Dr Pepper. You'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" It tastes like brown. That's what Dr. tastes. That's what Dr. Pepper tastes. Just like the color dark brown. That's what I can't describe it. But yeah, no, I would drink Iron Brew regardless of my taste buds out of a younger person's belly button, right? And I bet she's cleaner. Like Theresa May had a breakdown,
Well,
whereas
she's young. She's younger
yeah,
as well.
and
I feel
Nicola
like
just had
Nicola
a win,
Sturgeon.
so she's probably got champagne all over her
I just
somewhere.
like Nicola Sturgeon more as well. Like I feel like I get on with her better as a person, and that's important when you're drinking out of their orifices. So,
Yeah. Someone in the chat has asked me if I want Indie Ref 2, and I feel like it's like an obvious answer. It's an
great
obvious
question.
answer. Young guy, liberal, always talking about, liberal things. Yeah, no, Indy Ref 2 would be great because that means that, Scotland wouldn't have to deal with fucking going somewhere and having to bring my passport all the time and shit. It'd be great.
You'd have to go to England. You'd have to bring your passport when going to England. The next FPL meetup, you would need a visa.
I wouldn't go. I don't think I would go. Fuck
You'd
you
have a
guys.
Scottish
You guys
one.
can come up here. We'll have a Glasgow bash. FPL in general, FPL general and FPL Dave's big fat sexy Glasgow bash. Come up to Glasgow, drink like the Scottish do. We'll do a pub crawl. It'd be amazing.
That does sound lovely. Another question from Colm, who says,
Is in the chat.
Can you confirm? Oh, is he?
Yeah, Colin's a belter.
Oh, nice. Well, he's dropped a question as well on Twitter. Can you confirm after sleeping together at the meetup? Technically true, he's put. Does Dave have a kuato to get low down stuff because he is so tall? I don't know what a kuato is, but I guess it's like some kind of like grabby stick or something.
Right.
Or does he have a third nipple?
I'm 6'3". I'm not a monster.
He actually put a giraffe emoji as well. So
Jesus, I didn't even know that existed. Wow, he's put effort into this. Cool.
He's dug one out.
And do I have a third nipple? No, but I do.
I mean, he was asking me, I think, as someone who's. The assumption was that I'd seen you, in your entirety, which I unfortunately, Carl, didn't.
I actually did see your chest, though. You've got a very nice hairy chest.
Yes, you followed me into the.
Well, I was concerned that you weren't going to put on the right jumper, because on one jumper you look like normal James, and the other one you look like you were just about to release the next iPhone.
It
was a turtleneck. You can't deny it.
I bought a polo neck to the meetup and was like, "This is what it's like, a black polo neck." And I said, "This is what I'm going to wear." And then everyone unanimously was just like, "You look like a tosser."
Holly was being really nice about it, but me and Mark were just like, "You're getting bullied."
Holly was nice about it in a way that, like, your mum says that your school.
Oh, I think you look nice. Thank you very much, Tana Doer, for following. Appreciate it. If you are new here and you haven't followed yet, you can follow. And hopefully James will come back and be nice and chat with us as well. Daphs has said, what do you think is too many minus hit points, overall hits? Do you mean like in the whole thing? He's taken minus 44 so far. But I took like minus 60. Yeah, I took minus 60 last year and I ended up in the top 1K by game week 35, and then I lost 4K in the last 3 game weeks. And I didn't take a single hit in the last 3 game weeks.
Isn't it? It's just
it
so
depends.
relative.
If you're really good at hits, then take as many as you want.
Exactly. Yeah. And it works out for some people. If
you've got good intuition, if you've ever like just about to been with a girl and then you went, you know what, I think she's fucking mental, I'm gonna leave her alone, and it turns out she's got 18 kids or something, then that's good intuition, and I don't mind you taking loads of hits. But if you fucked her, if you shagged that girl and now you are one of those 18 daddies, then don't take many hits. Do you know what I mean?
That is such a weird piece of advice to give.
I did that just to see your face.
I think generally speaking, I always stay away from hits. And now, when I was younger, back in my more hedonistic days, I would take more hits. I feel like I'm a better manager for avoiding hits where possible. So that's my general rule. In the same way that I generally avoid impregnating women who I don't know that well in general. So that's
I actually wouldn't mind you
that's
taking hits. Actually, you know what? Think about that. You've got good intuition.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it quite qualifies as intuition.
Colm says that a kuta is the alien in the man's belly.
That,
I don't know what it
that
means.
Does not clarify.
It makes it worse. It makes it worse.
Host of 2 questions.
It's just like that guy. I don't know.
He did put a Total Recall GIF.
Oh, did he? Do you say
GIF?
Did. I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
You say GIF?
Yeah.
No, GIF for me.
All right. Okay. Well, it's not a J. So.
What you say? You call giraffes?
No, but there is different. I mean, I could do that as well. If I could think about it on the spot. If I could recall that really, really good GIF of Lord of the Rings fighting over it.
Mate, you know what one of my favourite stories as a child was?
No.
Jack and the Giant Beanstalk.
Nice. You have obviously had this conversation more.
Tell me. used to work at a language school, so
Yeah, I was gonna say, right? I'm making these transfers, aren't I? Right? There's nothing
Oh, have you
wrong with
not
this.
done them yet?
No, I
Jesus
was
Christ.
worried about it. I wanted to chat
Come
about
on,
it
man.
more.
Do
Right?
it. Do it.
Target in for Trent Alexander-Arnold because I'm not gonna want him back for ages, and if I do, I'm gonna have to get rid of Mane. In which case, I could probably afford both Trent and Robbo, and it would be a whole big overhaul anyway. And then Son, we've talked about for days, and everyone wants him in, and he's went up in price and stuff. And if I want to increase him to Salah, all it takes is a wee Ings or Abraham downgrade. Good. I'm fucking making this. I've done this.
Yeah, just stop searching for approval and believe in yourself.
Confirmed transfers. Done. All right.
Well done, man. Congratulations. We can all
Thank you
move
very
on with
much.
our lives now.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Any other questions?
I want to hear your arse story.
My R story. Wait, can we have your? No, mine's not really an R. Mine's not really a story. But I haven't shaved my face.
Oh God.
First of all, I haven't shaved my face since I met you. So on Friday, just before we went out, I shaved, and then I haven't. And this is all I've got. This I look
I
like
can't see you, man.
I know you can't
you.
see, right? But I'll describe it. It's like what you would get if you were a 12-year-old Spanish kid.
Do you look like a pedo?
No, I've never met a pedo, but maybe.
Or so you think.
Well, I don't remember because my brain has rejected it from my memory.
Yeah.
No, but you can see here, right? And it's just I have the biggest baby face, and I think I've been trying to rack my brain on why everyone thinks that I'm just like a midget. I think it's just because I look young, right? I don't ever stand up. I'm always on this seat. The seat is quite high.
Yeah, I think it's just because you're sat down. Yeah.
I'm sat down, and I've got a baby face, and I think people are like, oh, he's gonna be a wee young, cute, Scottish, tiny 5'5" person, right?
Yeah.
And I think that this stuff. This little mustache doesn't help, right? Because this is all I can do. But I am and you're a hairy dude, right? But my whole chest and all the way down, I have no hair, right? But see from the waist down, it's like a completely different story. It's like the Amazon rainforest. There are animals.
Really?
There are animals that haven't been discovered yet.
You're like Mr. Tumnus.
Aha, exactly. I'm like a fucking fawn. Yeah, it's just mental. So my it's just the worst, and I hate it. So up here I'm a baby, and down here I'm a gorilla.
This is quite intimate.
No, I know. Well, I'm an open book, mate. So I was just and I was gonna shave for the stream, and I thought, no, I think it'd be funnier if I don't, and I'll just tell everyone what this is. This is my excuse. I think it'd be funnier. It's easier for me to just tell you guys this little snippet of my life than me have to go and fucking shave. So I haven't. But then I've got you on the stream, and you have this nice going on. You obviously go to a Turkish barber, or you do it yourself, and you're amazing. Look at you. You're a man. You're an actual man.
It's not very neat. Look at it.
No, but you're like a man. I'm looking at you, and I'm like, yeah, oh my goodness, you're a bigger man than I thought you were. No, but you're definitely a man, and I look at myself.
This is my reality.
I'm 26, and I still look like a fucking child. I look like a pedo's dream, is what I look like.
And
you know what I mean?
you're that weird of the Venn diagram between children and pedos. You somehow managed to be in that middle overlapping bit.
Yeah.
Where you kind of look like a pedo, but also a child.
Well, I don't want to say yes to that.
Which is
you said you can't see me, and now that's stuck. Please do not.
I've just got an image in my head. Yeah, I've got an image in my head. Yeah.
I don't look anything like your Uncle Bob. So, well, people really like Mr. Tumnus. Oh, that's not good. That's gonna stay. That's sticking. All right. So that's my little why
FPL Tumnus.
Well, I've got to change it. There's someone followed me the other day. It was FPL Dave 1. And I'm like, there's too many. We're gonna have to I think I'm just gonna call myself Dave. I don't have to be FPL Dave.
FPL Fawn.
Liam says he's 23 and he looks about 16. I can confirm that. He does look really young. Dave equals childophile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so let's hear. I don't want to do rate my teams because we've got 9 minutes left, and I know you need to bounce. So let's hear your story, and then we'll leave it there.
All right. I love how we've got two choices: our actual fantasy football value or a story about my arse.
Well, okay, so we've talked about it, right? Okay, to confirm, children, I've learned something today. If you're gonna captain anyone, then we really like Son. But if you don't have him, then Rashford's a decent choice. Who else? Am I missing anyone? I was actually
maybe Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne, we do like him. But yeah, no, we talked Son off too much. I think we're going to captain him. And it was exactly like someone tweeted us, didn't it? It was the panda. It was James the panda. Tweeted saying, "Hey everyone, what's up? We really like Son. Thanks for coming to our stream. Bye," or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was, and he was totally right. He was totally right.
He's nailed it. But was he expecting an arse story?
No, or two. I know.
And he's about to get another one. He's about to get another one.
Let's do it.
So my arse story, I'll try and keep it very short, but it is a great story. It's probably the most interesting thing that's ever happened in my life.
Gather around, children.
Yeah. So when I was living in an RAF base when I was 11 years old, there was a boy who I used to play with in. I realised. Oh dear, not a good start. See, that would be fine, but having just followed on from the conversation we were having.
Please stop.
And that's it, and that's my story.
Okay.
No, so he was my age, and we would play at the park, and we had this game where we would like throw sticks at each other, and he threw a stick at me, and it impaled itself in my left bum cheek, and it went in about an inch, and I had to go to hospital. So I like had to walk home with this stick like hanging out of my bum cheek, and I went to hospital. I had to lie across the back seats of my parents' car. I don't know if anyone who's watching, they may not be familiar with RAF bases, but RAF bases are designed in such a way that a car can't just like steam into them. So they're very windy, and there's lots of speed bumps, so that if you're a car full of bombs, you can't
defensive.
Yeah, exactly. So we had to go over about
speed bumps for terrorists.
And if you can imagine, the stick is quite long, and an inch of it, the very end of it, the tip of it is in my bum cheek. The rest of it is just kind of wagging away.
Right.
Which obviously meant when you go over a speed bump, it would really jiggle in there. And it had to be removed by a nurse. And then I spent, the next week not really being able to sit down, and and I've been told I've still got a scar there today by the local pedo who still checks on it. So there we go. That's my arse story.
Wow, it's a great story. Please, every time you tell that,
no Harry Potter, but it's
please start it with, would you like to hear my arse story? I was playing with a little boy. You can't see me. I got up. I missed the first half of that story. It's not a very well rehearsed story, because I haven't actually told that many people about it. But now Lucas in the chat is what, did you go to the park naked? What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that's a great question.
That's an imperative question.
It went through. I was wearing like kind of like exercise trousers, like kind of like 12-year-old boy. Like I think they were like feeler, like thin, materially trousers, and it just went straight through. And I was as shocked as, I was
as shocked as anyone would be if an arse went in. A stick went in their arse.
I thought it was dangling off my clothes. So at first I just grabbed it, and then realised that it was actually like in me, and it was horrible. It hurt. But also it did prove to be a good anecdote.
Your story was definitely much better than just mine is hairy. Let's move on.
I've got a hairy ass. Yeah.
Someone has clipped it. I want to watch it. Daft has clipped this. So let me play it. It's gonna be short, us.
But it is a great story. It's probably the most interesting thing that's ever happened. I
can't hear anything. So yeah. Actually, no, I'm not going to watch it. It's taking too. It's lagging. It's taking too long. That's such an anticlimax. I just want to see myself. Hold on, I'm going to fast forward. I need to see myself.
I used to play with.
Oh, that's so funny.
I realised.
I missed your reaction. I didn't see anything you did after this.
Not a good stuff. I think I was just waiting for you to compose. See, that would be I had no idea what was going on though. Obviously, I can't see you, so I just assumed that you were.
That is so good. That's so funny. Well, thank you so much, James, for coming. You've actually made my night. I'm in such a good mood after that R story. I really appreciate it. And
I'm glad that it's finally got some use.
And we've had 40 plus viewers this whole time, so people are loving it. Thank you so much, everyone, who's
Nice.
come. If you haven't already, I'm going to say it until the cows come home, fucking follow us, because it means I can show other big people, like, hey, look how many followers I've got, and they'll be like, aye, let's come on your stream, and then you guys get bigger guests and more fun guests than James, so that would be great.
I think you do need that, definitely.
Good luck this game week, definitely. I hope you guys do well. I hope you don't do as well as me. I need those green arrows to continue, and I know that you're doing well, but you could be doing a little bit better too, right? And last but not least, if you've got Amazon Prime and you don't use your sub, just chuck it my way. I'm really wanting to buy a new graphic designer, because I need new stuff, man. Oh yes, Sawsington there with a Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. 2 months in a row. Nice.
Sozzington with his stats, and now this. What a guy.
He's paid us to give us stats. That's
yeah, exactly.
Great.
He's probably the biggest contributor of quality content in this stream tonight.
I know. He did the best. Thank you so much, Sozzington. I love you. Thanks very much, guys, for coming. And good night. That was great. Awesome.
Night, guys.
Bye. Bye. Don't say anything. He's actually covering his mouth. Cheers, lads. Bye.